County, Kansas City, and beyond. This is Noel Engel here. That's right, Noel John Paul Engel, the one and only Noel John Paul Engel. And this is Today in Politics. Today in Politics, today's topic I'm going to talk about is Federal Law 18 U.S. Code 1513, Retaliating against a witness, victim, or informant, Part 3. Part 3, October 4th, 2025, Saturday. Happy Saturday. We all know they are lying and lying and lying, some more again and again, to try and stay out of jail and stay out of trouble. They are in. They being KY3 employees and those involved or associated with KY3 employees, because or ex-employees, whatever. See, as you might recall, I had sent Gray Television then, Gray Television Inc., as it was then now known as Gray Media, a cease and desist letter, and that might apply company-wide, you see. Even properties like those in Kansas, such as KCTV5, as well. I asked good old Mr. Google this: what is the legal definition of a cease and desist letter? Before we go any further, because apparently some of you don't remember what I had said about the cease and desist letter, as it is not an employment contract. No, it is not. You dodo bird. A cease and desist letter. This is what Mr. Google says. A cease and desist letter is a written demand to a person or a company to immediately stop a specific illegal or torturous activity such as defamation, harassment, trademark infringement, or breach of contract, and to refrain from repeating it in the future. The letter formally notifies the recipient of their actions are causing them harm or violating rights, and warns them of legal action will be pursued if activity does not stop. Here are the key elements of a cease and desist letter. Sender's rights: a clear statement of the legal rights being violated, such as trademark, copyright, or contractual rights. Description of infringement: a detailed account of offense or illegal activity. Demand to cease: an explicit demand for the recipient to stop all activity, and sometimes directive to take specific action to comply. Consequences of non-compliance: a warning of legal actions that will follow if a demand is ignored. Contact information: detailed of the senders and recipients, and if any legal representation. While a cease and desist letter is not legally binding on its own, depending on if it has a compliance agreement, it serves as a critical step in resolving a dispute before formal litigation. It creates a legal paper trail demonstrating that the sender attempted to resolve the matter amicably and getting the recipient's attention to the seriousness of the issue. If the recipient ignores the letter, the sender may then pursue further legal remedies such as a lawsuit. And the cease and desist letter is evidence. I personally never did sign any form of agreements or contracts with those involved with KY3 or those employed with KY3. No, I did not, and I can testify to that fact against them if there are any such documents with my signature. They would have to have been forgery. As far as employment contracts, they are saying what is not forgery is my cease and desist letter and compliance agreement document. That signature I can testify as mine. Now, back to our subject at hand today, which is what is the legal definition of what is the legal definition of retaliating against a witness, victim, or an informant in federal law. I had asked our old dictionary research analyst, Mr. Google, that very question, and Mr. Google response is, under federal law, retaliation against a witness, victim, or informant is defined by 18 U.S. Code 1513 as knowingly taking harmful action against a person because of their participation or involvement in a federal official proceeding or for providing information to law enforcement. This can include acts like threats, physical violence, harm to employment, or property damage with the intent to punish or prevent future cooperation with the justice system. Key elements to establish violation of 18 U.S.C. 1513, the prosecution must prove harmful action the defendant engaged in an act that caused harm to the person. Intent to retaliate, the defendant acted with intention of punishing the person. I believe we had a role in the official proceeding or for cooperating with law enforcement. I believe they said this is some form of punishment for me. Target the person. The victim was a witness, victim, or informant. I believe I have the target. Underlying reason, the target person had attended or testified in an official proceeding. I had filed lawsuits against the defendants, provided truthful information to federal law enforcement. I had also provided tips to the FBI and other law enforcement agencies, or was otherwise involved with federal investigation or proceeding. I believe that with a cease and desist letter I had sent, and the fact that I had participated in an official proceeding in federal court by legal definition, that we will go over again in a few minutes, actually in the next video. Right now, I plan to explain why I believe they can still be charged with 18 U.S. Code 1513, retaliating against a witness, victim, or informant under the key elements of the law. Before this all began, psychologically speaking, I had been only diagnosed with depression, major depression, and well, albeit I was not on any medication when this all started around January 2016. I believe when I was living with my mother, then outside of town, called Lampe, Missouri, southwest of Branson, Missouri, in Stone County, Missouri, close to the Arkansas state line in location. I need some water. Anyway, after being falsely arrested and sent to the Center for Behavior Medicine in Kansas City, Missouri, which is how I got to Kansas City, after 2 different psychological evaluations, one done by Cox North Hospital in Springfield, Missouri, and the other done by the Center for Behavioral Medicine in Kansas City, Missouri. After the Cox North, I was diagnosed with anxiety and sent back to Stone County, Missouri jail for my court date, and then sent home with my mother. We had an argument about my lawsuits, which is what got me falsely arrested in the first place, because she wanted me to stop suing. I had sued those employed with KYD News, you see, of Springfield, Missouri, in Western District of Missouri Federal Court. The case is on Justia Engel vs. KY3, case number 32017 CV 05158, which means I had actually tried to sue them several times in the Western District of Missouri Federal Court. In this particular case, all of the anchors had been named were on KY3 News, Springfield, Missouri, at the same time, and this can be evidence as well, and not cease and desist letter, as my electronic evidence against him, and my bills from Boost Mobile and AT&T can verify and authenticate my services as evidence also. So to go on about injury, I had been diagnosed with multiple psychiatric injuries that I now have since January 2016, when this all began with the involvement of KY3 News of Springfield, Missouri. And they are all delusional disorder, depression, anxiety, schizoaffective disorder, and false beliefs. And something else I can't remember, and what I have been diagnosed with since I have been at the Center for Behavior Medicine. So I believe that meets the element of harmful action against the person of the electronics they had been using to pressure, harass, intimidate, stalk, and threaten me on an ongoing basis, because it's not directed at anybody else. And how they've been doing it to overtly with the electronics proves they knowingly and recklessly violated the law, because they know what they're doing is illegal, because they have chosen to contact me in the way they had, you see, so they could, in essence, get away with it without any evidence, so to speak, against them if they were to call me or text me or send me emails in a traditional sense. For the sake of time, I will make another video, part 4, and now this is tampering and retaliation, and the fact that my lawsuits in federal court were in fact the legal definition of an official proceeding in federal court, and I was part of that official proceeding as a plaintiff because as pro se, I have been registered presenting myself as a pro se plaintiff in Western District of Missouri Federal Court. I am listed as the plaintiff. You see, even on Pacer and on the federal dockets, I'm listed as the plaintiff. So, this has been today this has been today in politics with no jumbo angle. Sorry for taking so long. Thanks for watching and listening to me rant away. Have a good day.